Magomed Ankalaev demanded Abu Dhabi. Magomed Ankalaev turned down the Alex Pereira fight. Magomed Ankalaev is inactive and he doesn't want the fight. I was sick and tired of the made-up narrative surrounding Magomed Ankalaev as Alex Pereira brutally ducked him over the course of the last 2 years. And now we already have Sean Strickland pushing the Dagestani oppression narratives that, yeah, man, Magomed Ankalaev just rides the bench and sits out. In an interview recently, Sean Strickland is pushing the anti-Dagestani, anti-Muslim narratives already to cope about Alex Pereira losing to Magomed Ankalaev. And I already see some narratives coming that we have to get on top of in this video, because Sean Strickland, to be honest, we're going to expose him in this video. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video just yet. Sean Strickland absolutely humiliated himself. Alex Pereira ducked Magomed Ankalaev, aka Big Ank, while he was champion, and now he's ducking him while he's a contender, and so is Jiri Prochazka in a roundabout way. So we're going to break it all down this video. We're going to discuss Alex Pereira turning down multiple dates against Ankalaev. We're going to expose Sean Strickland. We're going to listen to what Ariel Helwani has to say about the situation. We're going to listen to a clip from Ali Abdelaziz, and then we're going to end with exposing Sean Strickland. So let's get right to it. First thing I want to show you guys is Magomed Ankalaev tweeting out, "I have a feeling you don't want the rematch after I agreed to August." And by the way, now we officially have confirmed that Ankalaev isn't fighting till at least September, October. It appears that he's going to end up fighting in Abu Dhabi in October. We don't know that for sure yet, which is already going to help push a certain narrative, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. So right here, we already have Ankalaev saying, "I agreed to August." That didn't happen. Obviously, UFC 319 now is Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. But we also had recently, Alex Pereira tweeted this out. I've talked about this kind of fleetingly in a couple different videos. I wanted to break this down really more in depth in a kind of dedicated video here. Alex Pereira says, "I always answer the UFC's calls, but if they want to play with me, we can do that. I've never spoken poorly of the UFC, but with what I've just heard, I'm disheartened. I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore, and after what was just relayed to me, this may be the start." That is insanity to hear from Alex Pereira. He got beaten so badly by Big Ank. He is now considering retirement. By the way, if you followed the channel before the fight, I told you guys Pereira wasn't going to want the rematch against Big Ank. That remains to be seen whether or not it actually happens. We'll talk about that more as the video goes on. I just want to show you my initial response to this, okay? Because after Alex Pereira tweeted this out, later on, not that long later, he came out and said he was hacked. Alex Pereira claims he was hacked after a controversial UFC tweet. "I was hacked. It's been a while since I've posted anything you guys see, but I was hacked and I'll resolve it. I don't know what's going on. I have a great relationship with the UFC. People like to do bad things. That's that. Shama. Shama. No more Shama." What did I have to say about this whole situation live? I'm not buying it for 1 second. Alex Pereira realized it was a mistake to go public with the UFC gripes and decided to cover it up by saying he was hacked. And I swear, I can't find it now. Someone gave me a community note for saying this. There is absolutely no way Alex Pereira was hacked. And I think I have one more tweet here. And this also doesn't have a community note, so I don't know where it was. "Alex Pereira may retire and claims the UFC is playing with him. My best guess, Pereira wanted more time for the Ankalaev rematch, and the UFC said they're moving forward with another contender." I don't know why I just stumbled over my words there. Which eventually was kind of confirmed, but we'll get to that in a minute. We got a lot to cover. I'm trying to go through at rapid speed right now because I don't want to make the video 45 minutes long because we got a lot to check out. So then Big Ank went on a slew of tweets, went on to post a slew of tweets. I'll read through them real quick. The only thing was hacked is Alex Brain. He's not champion anymore. I'm waiting for you. Don't worry. I was offered to fight Alex International Fight Week. If the man don't want it, let's move on. I'm ready for everyone. I dare you. Again, Ankalaev not only willing to fight Alex in June, but also willing to fight anybody in June as well. Then he says they call me Big Ank. Now they call me Ankalaev. Okay. Then he reposts championship rounds talking about how Magomed Ankalaev said he was offered a rematch with Alex Pereira for International Fight Week. Of course, Alex Pereira turned that down. We eventually got that covered. Then he says, I hope Shama will show up in Abu Dhabi. Don't be scared, homie. All the guys turned me down International Fight Week. And then he says, guys, is there anyone in the light heavyweight division who's willing to fight me? Because Jiri and Alex do not want to fight. We're going to get to it in a minute, but Jiri and Alex are both confirmed to have turned down Magomed Ankalaev. But yet, apparently he's inactive. People keep crying about his inactivity. And then lastly, Alex Pereira don't want the Ank anymore. Let's leave him alone because I'm not a bully. Fake Ninja said he wanted to go back to school because he cannot read. At Dana White, at McMahon, give me some fish. So there you go. And by the way, while I'm at this, let me pull something else up that I don't currently have up, but we'll get to a little bit later in the video. Let me see if I can pull that over there. We're going to pull up the rankings a little bit later. But that's the gist of the tweets from Ankalaev. Let me see if I can get back to that. There you go. A couple other things I want to show you real quick. Alex Pereira turned down the rematch and demanded Brazil during Ramadan. Tell Pereira to get to the back of the line and actually earn a title shot for a change. Now, I tweeted this out as satire, and this is one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video. People made up lies to justify Alex Pereira's years, and the UFC abetting him, aiding and abetting him, his years of ducking Ankalaev. They said, oh, he demanded Abu Dhabi. Simply not true. I'm not going to sit here and dispel it in this video. I've dispelled it in many videos. And also that he turned down the fight, okay? He turned down the fight on multiple occasions, was never officially offered to him ever. And then he ended up fighting Alex Pereira finally at UFC 313 during Ramadan, and whooped Alex Pereira. Whooped him and dominated him and completely shut him down to the point he doesn't even deserve a rematch, but that's besides the point. And another tweet I want to show you before we watch Ariel Helwani confirm all this. Can we talk about the fact Alex Pereira got dominated at UFC 313 after ducking Magomed Ankalaev for years, and now he's turned down he's turned down an undeserved immediate rematch on multiple dates. Pereira needs to get to the back of the line and maybe earn a title shot for occasion. Because essentially Alex Pereira is an industry plant. Magomed Ankalaev had a crazy long winning streak. People made up rumors about him demanding Abu Dhabi based off one tweet. And then said he turned down the fight on multiple occasions, which he did not. Again, we have confirmed Alex Pereira has, but I'm going to show you evidence of that. And they said Ank needs to get to the back of the line. They justified Khalil Bumtree fighting for the title at number 8 in the rankings because Ankalaev turned down the fight. Ankalaev doesn't want the fight. Ankalaev turned it down on multiple occasions and he demanded Abu Dhabi. What a fucking joke that was. Now, I post about how Pereira needs to get to the back of the line. Turn down multiple fights. Again, this is a little bit of satire. I'm going to get to my real opinion in a little bit. The next thing I want to check out. We're going through it rapid fire. By the way, if you guys enjoyed these videos, I know I kind of reading off tweets at the beginning here just to kind of give you the full context. But to sum that all up, Alex Pereira was not hacked. Alex Pereira was offered fights in June and August against Big Ank, turned it down. He did not want those opportunities. It was also offered to Jiri Prochazka. That's what Pereira was pissed about. And that's why he tweeted that out. But then he realized this is a bad look. Let me say I got hacked, even though everyone knows it was a straight up lie. So there you go. There's the summarization of everything I just showed you. Now here is Ariel Helwani essentially confirming all of it and kind of giving his opinion on it. Listen to this.
And especially when, as of right now, they don't have a main event for International Fight Week. According to what I'm hearing, what Magomed Ankalaev tweeted was in fact accurate. They did in fact call Alex Pereira and say, hey, we want you to fight Magomed Ankalaev on International Fight Week. Ankalaev tweeting this yesterday afternoon. I was offered to fight Alex International Fight Week. If the man don't want it, let's move on. I'm ready for everyone. I dare you. It's not that he doesn't want it. Unavailable. Timeline not working. This guy, this is the guy you're going to question. And so this.
By the way, Ariel can't get Pereira's nuts out of his mouth. I guess he's not Muslim, so that's why. But it's just crazy to me that they're like, man, Pereira's done so much for the company, man. He gets to demand a timeline now. A non-champion gets to demand a timeline now. Now, I think it is reasonable for Alex Pereira to turn down June, but he can't take the fight 6 months later. So you were offered it 3 months later, 3.5 months later. That doesn't work out for you. You were offered it then about 5.5, 6 months later. That doesn't work out for you. At what point do we move on? And the reason I really want to highlight this is not to shit on Alex Pereira, okay? Because again, I think he was justified if he didn't want to take it in June. 3.5 months is not enough to close that skill gap that we saw at UFC 313. But the point is, imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine what we'd be hearing from the Dagestani Muslim haters. Imagine if Ankalaev turned down the fight in June. He wasn't ready to defend his title yet. And then this all is going to compound. I'm going to show you all this. And then you have Sean Strickland, who is a complete and utter embarrassment, now already spewing dumb-ass narratives about Ankalaev. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's listen to the rest of what Ariel has to say.
This is the guy who fought 3 times in the span of 6 months last year, 4 times in the span of, I think, 11 months.
We get it, Ariel. We get it. Alex Pereira fought lower-level opposition. If they weren't lower-level opposition, like Khalil Bumtree, who lost to Dustin Jacoby, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He was fighting guys rushed back from catastrophic injuries. His entire resume basically has a massive asterisk on it. So, I mean, seriously. Imagine if anybody else had done this. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Pereira deserves credit. But acting like Pereira gets to dictate over the course of a year like John Jones is doing to Tom Aspinall right now, which is an embarrassment, by the way, on the UFC's part, letting him do that. But to act like Pereira is owed this. Oh, he fought stylistic perfect matchups who were rushed back from catastrophic injuries on short notice. He's the man to act like it's okay. It's justified for him to turn down a fight in August. No, it's not. It's not. If he's injured, so be it. Whatever. Let's move it down the line. But it's going to contribute to other dumb, false narratives that go against Ankalaev later on, which we're going to cover. But let's continue.
The plan was August. But now because they're scrambling for whatever reason, they said, hey, let's see if he's available in June. And so, yeah, I hate to say it. I don't think he was hacked. I hate to say it. I think he was disrespected. I hate to say it. I think that was him that tweeted that. Or
you think? I knew it right away, immediately. Told you guys right away.
At least he told someone to tweet it. And I hate to say it. He should feel that way. He should feel that way. Because what happened was, and this is the tweet that I'm talking about that happened, that went out Wednesday while we were on the air. I always answer the UFC's calls, but if they want to play with me, we can do that. I've never spoken poorly of the UFC. But with what I've just heard, I'm disheartened. I've always had thoughts of not fighting anymore, and after what was just...
I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore. Yeah, I would too after what Ankalaev did to you. That's not even hating. I'm not even hating at all. There's no way he beats Ankalaev. He's going to have to fluke a win somehow and pray he flukes a win. He's not beating him. It's clear as day, in my opinion. I knew that before the fight. I told you guys Pereira was going to get dominated so badly he wasn't going to want the rematch. I'm going to give my full opinion here in a little bit after we finish going through this. But spoiler alert, I think there's about a 70 to 80% chance we never see Ankalaev Pereira too. Pereira goes on Ariel's show. He copes. He claims he won with his coach. And now he's saying, I've already had thoughts of not fighting anymore. Yeah, he's already collected plenty of paychecks. Why go out there and get embarrassed by Ankalaev again when I can maybe go to boxing or kickboxing or something along those lines with my now massive name that the UFC promoted? But let's continue.
Relate to me, this may be the start. What did they relay? Did they say, hey, maybe we're going to go in a different direction? Hey, maybe we're going to give the title fight to, one of your rivals, to the next man up? Maybe someone that you beat a couple times? Did that piss him off?
By the way, Ariel's hinting at Jiri Prochazka, which will end the clip there, which is also confirmed. Now, I'm just going to play this clip from Ariel's interview with Tim Simpson, who is Jiri's manager, I believe. And it confirms that Jiri also turned down the Ankalaev fight.
I had heard that there was a talk, so I don't think Alex Pereira was hacked. I don't think that was a real thing. But God bless him for that story. I had heard that he was upset because they were saying, hey, if you can't fight on this particular day, I think International Fight Week, that they were talking about Jiri versus Magomed. Is that accurate?
Yes. They inquired about if Jiri could do it.
And could he have?
If I was like, I don't know how real this is, or if it's like a
part of the
testing
game.
the waters. You know what I mean? Not even like games and shit. Like they just want to know what their options are. And I felt like it may not have been necessarily an option for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing his exams. And like he took
his school exams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit.
I know.
And he's deferred them so many times. Like, man, I can't defer these again.
Oh my God.
So he wants to finish.
So Jiri turned down another undeserved title shot because of exams. He didn't want to fight Ankalaev. So what I'm trying to show you guys here, and I'm sorry if it's long-winded, Alex Pereira turned down Magomed Ankalaev twice. Jiri Prochazka turned down Magomed Ankalaev at least once, confirmed by his manager right there. And now we're going to have the Dagestani haters in a month or 2 or 3 months. Man, Ankalaev only fights once a year, man. He only fights in Abu Dhabi, man. There's camels there. And people wear turbans there. And there's Muslims there. And there's sand there. And Ankalaev only wants to fight in Abu Dhabi. Oh, man, we got a Dagestani champion, man. He's Muslim. He only wants to fight in Abu Dhabi. Meanwhile, he accepted International Fight Week in Las Vegas. And he also accepted in August in Chicago. And they couldn't find anybody to fight him. So now they're going to push the narrative that he doesn't fight and he only wants to fight in Abu Dhabi. And they're going to say he sits out and he's inactive, and they're going to cry, he's boring. He's so boring. Yeah. I mean, think about how stupid that is. Anyway, one last clip I want to show you before we get into the Sean Strickland stuff. I want to show you Ali Abdelaziz also confirming, and again, you have to take Ali is Magomed Ankalaev's manager. You would have to take this with a grain of salt, but I'm just kind of giving you all the information that I found when I'm researching this topic. Ali confirms that it was offered for June and August, and Pereira turned both those down.
This is true. Magomed Ankalaev was offered June and August, and he expected both. I think Ankalaev hacked his account. I really did. I think he did. Listen, I think Alex deserves a break. I think the guy by fighting a lot. He did a lot of things for the company.
So there you go. And Ali even says, I think he deserved a break. I think it's reasonable for Pereira to turn down June. I don't think it's all that reasonable to turn down August. I'm not going to kill him over it. But the thing is, and the thing I really want to highlight here is, Pereira is delaying the rematch. Maybe it never happens, and then somehow people are going to say, man, Ankalaev's inactive. Man, Ankalaev doesn't want to fight anyone. Man, Ankalaev only wants to fight in the Middle East. Again, I know I just went into that whole entire spiel a second ago. I'm not going to go into it again. So just to sum this up, before we get into the Sean Strickland thing, I have a sneaking suspicion we never see Magomed Ankalaev step in the cage against Alex Pereira ever again. I just don't think it's going to happen. I thought this before the fight. It may happen. I'm not going to sit here and die on the hill and say I'm 100% certain it never happens. I got a feeling it never happens, though. Pereira doesn't, like, he can just say, oh, I had an off night. He goes out there and gets starched. He goes out there and gets dominated again. It's not going to look good for him. It's not going to look good for him. But I just want to get ahead of these dumb narratives because you already have soy boy beta male Sean Strickland starting to kind of push some of these narratives. Now, I couldn't find this full interview. I guess they're going to post it later, Red Corner MMA. But this is Sean Strickland already pushing some of those dumb narratives, and I tweeted this out. Let's not forget Sean Strickland rode the bench for 8 months, turning down Whitaker and Chimaev, begging for a second undeserved title shot against DDP. Then he went out there and refused to fight even though his coach was begging him to. Afterwards, he ducked Kaio. Sean Strickland turns down multiple fights. Sean Strickland rode the bench after losing to DDP. Well, not after losing to DDP. After squeaking out a split decision against Paulo Costa in one of the most boring co-main events I've ever seen on a pay-per-view. He then turned down Whitaker. He turned down Chimaev. He refused to fight, wanted another title shot, and then went out there and did not fight in the title shot. And listen to what he has to say about Magomed Ankalaev.
Ankalaev is just so fucking good. I think a couple things. I think Alex has a great chance of beating him in the rematch. I think Alex goes too hard. I mean, how many title defenses did he have? Going up and down weight classes. Where Ankalaev rides the bench for a certain amount of time. Being that active and none of that being a superstar. Like, no one knows who the fuck Ankalaev is. Ankalaev walks down the street, no one knows who the fuck that guy is.
To act like Alex Pereira is a superstar is literally the epitome of the MMA community as a whole perverting what the word superstar means. Pereira is definitely popular. He's definitely well known in the MMA community. But to act like he walks down any street in the United States and he gets mobbed with fans, in my opinion, is completely delusional. When he's at areas where there's MMA events being held, of course he's going to be swarmed because he is super popular. But that's delusional. But it's like, he's already sowing the seeds of excuses of cope for Alex Pereira. Man, he's just too active, man. He fought Khalil Roundtree, number 8 in the rankings. And then he turned around 6 months later and fought Magomed Ankalaev and he lost. I just think he's too active. Basically making excuses.
Alex is a superstar. He can't leave his house without someone saying, oh shit, there's Alex, should we take a picture? Like, it kind of takes a toll on the mind. Where, you know, you take Ankalaev, who just lives in a fucking cave somewhere. I don't even know where the fuck that guy's from. But dude, like, you know, he probably lives in a fucking cave somewhere and just, like, he doesn't have to deal with the same pressures of being famous as you do in the U.S. So I think Alex, if he just takes a step back, clears his brain, comes in fresh, you know, stop traveling all over the fucking world, I think he has a legitimate shot of beating him.
So, Magomed lives in a cave because he's Russian and because he's Muslim, according to white trash Sean Strickland. Okay. But a bunch of cope there, a bunch of excuses. Man, if he stops traveling the world, he stops being so active, he has a chance at outstriking him, I guess, improving his strike. I hate to break it to you guys. Magomed's in his early 30s. Pereira's in his late 30s. I don't think Pereira's striking is getting any better. I don't think his reflexes are getting any better. I don't think his chin's getting any better. But to sit here and act like, oh man, Pereira's so active. And what really grinded my gears is the way he said, man, he just rode the bench. Let's listen to that again.
You know, the rematch. I think Alex, like, goes too hard. I mean, how many title defenses did he have? Like, going up and down weight classes? Where Ankalaev rides the bench for.
Where Ankalaev rides the bench. Oh my, that really drove me nuts, especially considering Sean Strickland. I know he's active in like 2023 here. But listen, he lost to DDP in January of 2024. Beat Costa in June, early June, the very first day of June, by split decision in a boring-ass fight. Demanded a title shot. Sat around and waited for literally 8 months, 9 months, 7 months for a title shot, for a rematch against Dricus du Plessis, where he then went out and got absolutely embarrassed and 5-0'd and refused to fight, so much that his coach was begging him to fight in between rounds. Meanwhile, Magomed Ankalaev fought in January of 2024, okay? Then was promised a title shot, thought he was getting a title shot at some point, waited, wasn't getting a title shot. They booked him against Khalil Roundtree. They booked Pereira against Khalil Roundtree, so he fought Rockage. Then waited for Pereira again. Took Pereira during Ramadan. He wanted it before that. He accepted it. Remember UFC 310, he accepted it. And Pereira didn't want it. Pereira thought that he was going to get one over on Ankalaev by having him fight during Ramadan. Obviously, it didn't work out. But meanwhile, Sean Strickland is just sitting here and acting like, oh, Ankalaev is riding the bench. Ankalaev is inactive. And it's just a disgrace, man. Pereira's delaying the fight. If it does happen, it's not happening until October in Abu Dhabi. They're going to claim Ankalaev demanded Abu Dhabi. They're going to claim Ankalaev only fights once a year. If it wasn't for Pereira and Jiri turning him down, he would have fought 3 times this year. He would have fought in March. He would have fought in June, potentially, or August. And then he would have fought maybe the end of the year or maybe Abu Dhabi, October, November, December of this year as well. So, of course, Sean Strickland, obviously super biased. Obviously, for some reason, he has a hyper obsession with Muslim fighters. And what's even funnier about all this is this is what Sean Strickland has to say about Magomed Ankalaev and also Khamzat Chimaev. I dug up this old clip.
As the hard sparrer, but I'm curious, out of all the people you sparred, who's given you the hardest time? Has there been a moment in sparring when you're like, God, this guy's going too hard, even for me?
Ankalaev, the 205er, guy's a fucking savage. He's a guy that truly frustrates me, and I'm sparring him, like I find myself getting angry. I can't fucking hit you, I can't take you down, like he's probably one of the best. He's probably my toughest ever rounds, Ankalaev.
I saw earlier this week something you sparred with
And then he goes into Khamzat Chimaev as well. We'll just listen to it.
Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, Hamzat, he's good, man. He's good. He's very similar to me with work ethic. You know, when he's in the gym, he doesn't stop. He doesn't slow down. He's one of those guys that the second round comes, you guys are both scrambling. You're just like, fuck, man. Like, why aren't you slowing down? But, you know, I'm sure he's thinking the same thing about me. You're just like, third round comes like, fuck, all right, this is the round he's going to slow down. He's not slowing down. And you're just like, all right, well, I guess this is my life now. We're just going to have to.
By the way, there's Sean Strickland, who's known for having great cardio. It's really just shit output, confirming the myths about Khamzat's cardio. But here he is hyping up Ankalaev. Ankalaev's a savage. He's so good. He's unbeatable. And then he's saying behind, you know, years later, now when he's Alex Pereira's cuck, which he really is, man, if Alex Pereira just wasn't as active, Ankalaev sitting on the bench just cherry picking fights, what a disgrace. And then also I want to show you this clip as well.
This guy's a savage. I love this motherfucker. He's mean. Next 205 champion. Let's go.
So there you go. Basically, Sean Strickland is a cuck for whoever's in the room with him. He's Pereira's cuck now because Pereira's trained with him a little bit. He's Ankalaev's cuck when he's in the room with him. And then behind closed doors, when Ankalaev's not around, it's Ankalaev riding the bench. So the reason I wanted to make this video, and I hope you guys like this video, I'm kind of a little bit all over the place. The shit drives me nuts, guys. All those dumbass narratives about Ankalaev going into a Pereira fight that was going to happen here, was going to happen there. No, it's a little Roundtree, blah. And then now Ankalaev is going to get shit for not fighting sooner than October because other guys were unwilling to fight him. And you know what? I want to say we'll end the video on this. Like the video, by the way. If you enjoyed it, comment. Let me know what you think down below. But who should fight Ankalaev if it's not going to be Alex Pereira or Jiri Prochazka? Who should it be? Let's take a look at the rankings real quick. We got Ankalaev, light heavyweight champ right here. You know, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. You know what? I think it should be number 8. I think we should get Magomed Ankalaev versus Dominic Reyes. Isn't he of Mexican heritage? I'm not sure. He's Hispanic in some way, shape, or form. Let's headline UFC Noche Magomed Ankalaev versus Dominic Reyes, number 8 in the official rankings. And then when Ankalaev beats up Reyes, we can all claim that Ankalaev is the GOAT of the light heavyweight division. What do you guys think? I think that makes perfect sense. Just like when Pereira beat Roundtree in an absolute war, Dana White pretended like Khalil should move up in the rankings for losing. And by the way, Khalil Bumtree was crying after his daddy Pereira lost because he loved hyping up that participation trophy. But now Ankalaev absolutely outclassed him. That participation trophy now just got shit all over. So it's just annoying. The whole Dagestani fake narratives that surround these guys are so annoying. The fact that I have to constantly debunk them. The fact that Sean Strickland's like, yeah, man, he rides the bench while Pereira is fighting all these great guys. Can you imagine if Ankalaev fought Jiri on short notice, coming back from a catastrophic injury? Can you imagine if Ankalaev fought Jamal Hill on short notice, coming back from a catastrophic injury? It'd be easy wins for Ankalaev as well. So hopefully Pereira mans up, gets back in the cage with him. We can have the rematch. We can settle it all. I would like to see it. I would like to see a trilogy, even if Ankalaev wins the rematch. Pereira's done so much. Let's book him in a trilogy too. Hell, give him a 4th fight as well, even if he loses a 3rd. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.